Well, good afternoon, and thank you so very much for tuning in once again to the Raymond Hall Show. We are so thankful that you allowed us to be in your presence with our show. We are here to talk about and promote service and those who serve. When you peel back everything, service is not unique to America, but service is a uniquely an American institution. Because I don't care what kind of technology we add to things or anything else, it's somebody picking up a banner somewhere and says, hey, this is something that needs to be addressed, so they give service to. I'm here with Mrs. Erica Flynn Walker.
Hello, everyone.
Okay.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today.
On paper, we put co-hosts, but everybody know who runs the ship around here. And we've got two guests with us that are bringing some very important information to us. I happen to have been at a County of Los Angeles meeting, and they gave such an impressive presentation on information about services for people that were cited. So,
right, access and independence.
Yes, and that's what the show is about today,
exactly.
Access and independence. So Mrs. Walker is going to be introducing our guest in a minute. I'm going to make you wait a minute for a surprise. Okay, but she's going to be introducing our guest in a minute. But we want to take a quick minute and talk about current events.
Thank you, Mr. Hall, for that. The current event that we're talking about today is actually, we're still in the midst of International Women's Month. Okay. And so we're looking forward to all of the upcoming events that are still going on. Also, there's a growing response to the tragic loss through gun violence, where there was a demonstration made of 7,000 shoes placed on the Capitol lawn in observance of those individuals that were murdered, that were slain. Yeah. So, and that was an observance of 17-minute walkout of the children of our nation. Yeah,
you know, both of those things are important because I didn't see much dialogue from men about the International Women's Day,
right,
and
right.
I mean it's out there and broadcast on a bigger scale. But there was I was listening to NPR or somebody, and they was talking about this you know, you remember the Ebert and whatever the movie people, the two guys that were
Siskel and Ebert.
Siskel and Ebert, thank you. And
he passed away.
Yeah, he passed away. But they were talking about how there were not a female type group that looked at movies from the female lens, like these men do. We just, everybody looked at Secret and even, and okay, he said, go to the movie.
Right.
And it was so interesting, and that's what started me to really thinking about the difference of how we look at things and how we view things. So I want to make sure that I don't, through my own ignorance, don't support things that are vitally important. I see that as an important effort. As far as the children, I think the children are going to move this nation.
I know they are. I can feel the tide, the swelling up from their from their awesome input that they're putting in every single day. And they also have something else coming up, a march that they have planned. So we'll bring you some more information concerning that on our next show.
Okay. Well, you can always follow us. We're broadcasting live on our YouTube channel, so you can go to YouTube and do the Raymond Hall Show, and you'll see us live. Also, you can go to Morris Media Studios and click on the Watch Live button, and you'll see us live. You can follow us on
Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Also, iCloud at the Raymond Hall Show.
Okay. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
If you have a comment or something, you can always reach us by calling in on 323-293-3375. Now, we have such a wonderful show for
Yes, we do.
today.
Absolutely.
We're going to change the format. They're going to be with us all day because they provide a extensive level of services. And I was very impressed because I never paid any attention to vision when I was a young person.
Really?
Oh, I could see across the moon.
I'm serious. You and me both. Like, I can't go anywhere without my spectacles, as my grandmother would call them.
You know, I could. But today, you know, I got glaucoma and cataracts, and I don't know what else I got. But I do know that I'm thankful that I'm living in a time where they can do something about it. So today we have two guests with us. And
they're from the Dale McIntosh Center.
Okay.
And this is Arroyo and Donelda. We want to thank them for being here with us all the way from Anaheim, California, representing, again, the Dale McIntosh Center. Mm-hmm. So what we're going to do is let them both have a little moment to introduce themselves. First, we're going to start with Sororo.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Let me give you a little bit of information.
We're gonna go on the bio. Okay.
Let me give you a little bit of information. Sororo has over 20 years of experience in the nonprofit field. Mm-hmm. She joined Dale McIntosh Center in 2002. Oh, you've been there some time.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yes,
okay. Wow. That's impressive. She became part of the leadership team in 2004 to lead the Aging with Vision Loss program. Pay attention every age it is. Your bio is impressive.
Very.
It is so impressive. Sororo was born legally blind due to congenital glaucoma and cataracts. Because of her personal life experience with vision loss, she is also able to provide peer support to older adults she assists. Go on our website, and if it's not already posted, it will be posted both on our website and with our broadcast studio with Marvelous Media, and you'll be able to read her complete broadcast. And
her complete bio.
Her complete bio, I'm sorry. And equally so as
independent living skills instructor for older adults with vision loss and blind, Mrs. Donelda Dansby has an extensive background, which entails 15 years of experience as an independent living skills instructor, serving with various agencies that include Independent Living Centers, the Braille Institute, and the Department of Rehabilitation.
Mm-hmm. You know, what caught my attention back in the early 70s, I got out of service in 73. I took it upon myself to learn Braille. Mm-hmm. Wow. And they said it was difficult for sighted persons, a little more difficult for sighted persons than non-sighted persons. But it was the most interesting experience.
I find it very interesting. You know, the Braille, the whole concept of it is very interesting.
Yeah. So from we here at the Raymond Hall Show, and I'm sure all of our audience family, again, we want to thank you. Okay. So now that we done put our 2 cents in, we want to, we want to hear from you. So share with us something that you want to share with us about you before we get into what it is you all do.
Sure. Well, first off, I know Donelda and I want to thank both of you for having us here today. This is just so exciting and just a wonderful opportunity to reach as many individuals as we can to let them know about the services that are available to them.
Okay.
So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
About myself, thank you for the introduction. I think for myself, one of the things that drew me to the Dale McIntosh Center, and when I arrived there, Donelda here was one of the individuals who helped me get, acclimated and trained, and it's all about service.
Right. Yes. So, it's all about service.
Yes.
It's all about service. And so when we learned about your show, it just really resonated and really connected with us, because that's what we're all about is service and serving our peers and our older adults and people with disabilities. It's about helping one another and being of service to one another.
So that they can stay independent as you are. That's the main goal.
Vision loss, and I'm sure I'm not saying anything that you all have not already heard, but it's challenging. It's very challenging.
Yes.
You don't want to give up your car keys. you when I heard the assist tool that you all had about the coffee cup.
Yes.
I thought that was marvelous. Everything you all talked about, I
love it.
Yeah, I was waiting for them to hand out the freebies. I wanted my coffee cup thing because at one time I was constantly just misjudging things. And I'm on the air, so I won't say too much more than that because DMV is quick with it.
Right. So they may be listening today, okay? Give them an inside scoop on you, okay?
Right. Okay. And for you?
Well, as the background shared that I am an independent living skills instructor.
Okay.
And how I got into the field, so to speak, it's either someone will usually get into the field, either they themselves have vision loss or a family member has vision loss.
Okay.
And my mother, about 20 years ago, lost her vision overnight, unexpectedly. And so walking with her through that journey of the challenges and the difficulties, I developed the passion to work with others that are going through that process and knowing that there's light at the end of the tunnel. So that's how I got into the field.
Wow. That is inspiring.
It is very inspiring.
You, the two of you are really inspiring. The organization overview, the Dale McIntosh Center, DMC, is an Orange County-based organization now. They provide services throughout. They're just based in Orange County that partner with people with disabilities to address immediate needs and achieve independence.
Right. And the part that they told me, which is the inside scoop, everything is free.
Yeah.
Everything.
Right.
Not some things, which is the most exciting part of being able to get all of these programs and services that they offer.
Right. And they're extensive.
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
Why when I went through it, I went, okay, that's it. Everybody else, do whatever you want to do, get mad, but you're out of here.
Right.
Okay, so we're just going to reschedule and we're going to focus on this because when you can be of assistance to this degree, we need to get it right. And sometimes when you try to put a lot of subjects in a single space, you don't do any of it justice. And I want to make sure that today we give this all the time that we need. So let's talk about that. The everything is free. Okay, so how does that come about, being free?
So the Dale McIntosh Center is an independent living center. And what that means is that we think of us as a disability resource hub.
Okay.
For people with disabilities who live in Orange County. We receive a wide range of funding streams: federal, county, foundations, private donations, a little bit. And so that's what allows us to offer all of our services at no cost.
For free. Now, you say for for Orange County. Is it just for Orange County? I understood that you all had a contract to serve LA County as well.
Yes.
Okay.
So then the program that Danelda and I specifically have the pleasure of working for, the Aging with Vision Loss program that we're here to highlight, we're very fortunate that program receives a federal grant that allows us to serve people 55 and older who live in Orange County or Los Angeles County. All over LA County.
Now, everyone, get your pen and your tablets and all of your little gadgets and tools out, because we're going to be constantly talking about how to contact them at the Dale McIntosh Center when it comes to vision. So right now, if people wanted to get their contact information, we're going to do it a couple of times. How would they contact you all?
Sure. The easiest way is you can call our toll-free number, which is 1-800-972-8285.
Okay.
1-800-972-8285.
Okay. And what about web address?
It's www.daylemc.org.
Okay. All right. So we started, there's so many services, it's alphabetized.
Right, I see that. I know.
Advocacy, aging, assisted technology. So we're going to try and get through a number of it. Let's start with the advocacy. So tell us a little bit about the advocacy.
What does that entail?
Well, advocacy is mostly about empowering the individual who has the disability to be able to self-advocate
for themselves.
Okay. So we provide those tools, those resources that they will be able to we walk through it with them, but then they can continue to move forward to be advocates of their own for themselves.
So it's almost like a personalized advocacy, depending on what needs they have.
Definitely, yes.
Right. And then aging with vision loss. Now, the provision of home assistance for older individuals who have lost some or all of their sight includes using adaptive daily skills, modifying the home for ease and access, and training to use assistive technology or devices. And also today you guys told us that you brought in some devices that are the things that you would give to these individuals to assist them. So could you give us a little insight on one of the devices?
Sure.
Okay.
So think about this, Mr. Hall and Erica. Think about if you know someone who has, vision loss because of glaucoma or diabetic retinopathy, that's how diabetes can affect the eyes.
Right.
And they're starting to lose their vision. They're not able to read any longer. And so being able to see the clock on their wall or the wristwatch, they can't do that any longer.
Right.
So using something like what I have here in my hand, I'm going to press this button.
Okay.
It is 2:22 p.m.
And it talks, and it gives someone the time. So this is a talking keychain clock.
Okay.
Really simple, but can be so helpful.
Correct.
And so if somebody that we go out, somebody becomes our program participant and starts to use our services, we do a self-assessment questionnaire.
Okay.
And if they identify through the course of that questionnaire that they're struggling to tell time because of the vision loss, we're able to give them one of these devices.
Wow.
So not only do we give them the device, but then we train them on how to program it, because there's some buttons on the back that they have to learn how to navigate.
Right.
So that they can use it independently and tell time anytime they want to know what time it is.
What time it is.
Because the key is the independence portion.
You got it.
I hear you keep saying that. Very good.
That is wonderful. Okay. Yes. So all of these things are geared toward a person maintaining a degree of independence in their home.
Yes.
Or is it in any environment?
Any environment they call home, whether it's, a single-family home, an apartment, skilled nursing facility, assisted living, boarding care.
Right.
Okay. So if they're in, let's say that the person is in one of the assisted living facilities, can they call you individually, or does the facility have to call you?
Either.
Either one. Oh, that's really nice.
Wide open.
Okay.
Very good. Now, the assistive technology demonstrates a wide range of equipment, devices, and for various disabilities, and recycling of donated medical equipment. Provision, individual assisting and selecting, purchasing, AT, and availability of computers with adaptive software. Tell us about that, because a lot of people still want to be computer literate.
Yeah, computer interacting with their computers. Yes,
that is probably the biggest breakthrough for individuals with vision loss is the technology.
Yes.
Assistive technology, specifically the iPhone.
Oh, wow!
The iPhone, Apple. This was not the intention of Apple to be accessible for those with vision loss, but that's the biggest breakthrough that has been for independence with those with vision loss. So,
you got to hear this. I remember. I know where she's going.
Okay.
Oh, this blew me away. I almost went got an iPhone.
Almost. Okay.
Almost. Yeah.
Okay, tell us the name.
And I do want to say Android is comparable and is becoming more comparable, so I don't want to shortchange Android as well, but the smartphone specifically. So what we do is we provide accessibility training using that smartphone as far as having it be voice activated, as in trying to see it. If someone is what we call low vision, that's difficulty with any activities of daily living, we will provide accessibility features, training on enlarging the icons in contrast of the icons and the back screen of the phone and large font. But at the same time, they could be also using the voice activated portion so that they can, voice activate their phone calls, their texts, their emails, and search engine, all being audio back and forth.
Right.
So we provide that training, and then we take it a step further as to low vision apps.
Okay.
And time does not allow for all the low vision apps available. One of the popular ones, though, is an app called Digit Eyes, which reads barcodes. So I love it. And it's very exciting.
I know. I'm
It
so
is
excited.
incredibly exciting because if someone pulls out, say, a frozen dinner out of the freezer, it's a Marie Callender's dinner, and say the print is very tiny on the instructions, whatnot, they have their iPhone or their Android using that app read the barcode, and it will read out loud everything that's on that product.
Great.
So we are very excited about
I'm excited too.
the assistive technology training that
put it on the machine.
Yes.
A can of lima beans.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm looking for. Oh my!
That's so, and then it goes into, like we talked about, laptops and computers that they are,
because they have the MacBook, and it all
of that has
compatible
software programs that can be audio and or large print. Much larger than if you were trying to do something on a standardized software program. So it's much more magnification. So that everyone can be connected in technology, in spite of having the vision.
Because I'm sure that was a big hurdle that you guys had to jump over. Now that you can provide that opens it up so much more for staying independent.
Yeah,
absolutely.
When you all were speaking, it was a couple of things that came to mind. I saw. At one time before they got control of my vision and things started getting better, I used to struggle to read the labels on my medicines. And if you had a medicine that looked so much alike, you're in trouble.
Right.
Okay. One wouldn't kill you. The other one might. Okay. But when you all were speaking, it was so many things that came to mind, and it just took me off of my chair when to think that you could go in a store and put your phone
on that barcode,
and it would tell you what product you have in front of you.
It's pretty incredible.
Pretty incredible.
And we need that. So, you know what? I'm really excited about that. So you guys have so much. Next, I want to ask you about the housing assistance. See,
now you know why we preempted everything.
Right. We want to know.
It was like Christmas for us. Okay, you got to get away. Okay. So talk to us about the housing.
So with housing, as we all know, that is such... there's so many individuals in need of housing, and so the way we're able to help out is with resources, giving people resources, information, and referrals for different housing options that may be available. We don't own any housing apartment complexes or anything like that, but giving people information and resources is the way that we can guide them with that.
Now, your housing resources are tied to the vision loss. It's. I want to be clear because I don't want the population of the persons in Los Angeles calling you is looking for housing.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So
they're pretty general and broad. So there aren't necessarily specific housing complexes or assisted living facilities specifically for people with vision loss. They're more general.
Okay.
But the people that would call you seeking housing, are they? Those services are for people who have a vision loss.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's who we would. But if anyone wants to call us, and if we don't know the answer, our goal is always to connect them and guide them to the most appropriate resource.
Okay.
So we just, we want people to call us.
That's the important thing.
It is very important.
That's housing is a big issue in Los Angeles, and especially in some communities. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I've noticed, because I have a dear friend, a very vibrant, educated businesswoman, and all of us are getting older.
Yes.
And I'm noticing a lot of people now are just staying in their homes. Yes. They aren't venturing out the way they used to. They're just staying in their homes. So anything that keeps them safe and lets them be productive, I think, is a wonderful thing. Okay. So now we're down to
the sign language. They have sign language interpreter referrals, communication medical emergency network for the deaf come in. Now, how does that operate?
So our sign language interpreting registry is one of those really unique services that is actually a for-profit service at our organization.
Okay.
Because of the ADA, businesses are required to provide equal access, right, to communication.
Right.
And that's the American Disabilities Act.
You got it.
Okay.
You got it. Very good. The ADA requires that businesses like hospitals, the courts, school systems, right, if they have a person who is deaf, they are required to provide a sign language interpreter.
Okay.
So we have a registry where these businesses can call us and set up a service agreement. And once that's done, then we can send out an interpreter who are independent contractors that are part of our registry to provide that service to that company. Okay. And they're paying, that company is paying for that service. So that helps generate a little bit of revenue for the organization.
Okay. Now, is that widely known from to the people that need it? Let's say that you have, like we have the healthy families.
Healthy African American families.
I can see where that would be of use to them to have
that referral, right? To have that information to coordinate services with the people that would need the interpreters.
Yeah, I've actually seen interpreters in church as well.
Yes,
yeah, that's a new thing.
More and more.
Yeah, that's new.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's a new experience.
So they would simply need to contact you, and then you all would be able to take it from there.
Yes, they would contact the Dale McIntosh Center and speak to our interpreting services, our manager. Her name is Brittany. And go from there.
All right, that is.
Wow, you guys have been busy, huh?
Yeah,
very busy.
Yes. So, Danelle, another question. I'm asking all these questions today because, I'm so excited about you guys being here. Thank you again. About the part that you said you go into the homes of the individuals. So, is that on a regular basis or is it a time frame? How does that work?
It's a request.
Is it a request?
It's typically... it's the participant base. So it's driven by what their goals are, their desires are of how much they want to pursue the independent living skill philosophy.
Okay.
So when we do our first visit, that's when we'll do the assessment
of them.
and find out. And from there, it can be anywhere from 3 to 6 visits of helping them through this independent living goal program. Okay. So that's pretty much, but it's individual based. So if it needs to be longer than 6 visits, we can always extend that. Okay. Sometimes it's just a few short goals and they're on their way and it's only 2 or 3. Okay. So there's flexibility.
Okay, there's flexibility and it depends on the individual.
Let me ask you along those lines, what if we wanted a community to hear you? But the venue would be at a church. Is that doable?
Great question.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and that's actually one of the things we'd love everyone to know is that we're available to come out and do an in-service, at any type of location, whether it's at an assisted living facility. If people are listening who work with older adults, people are listening who work, from a church, senior center, community center, we're available to come out and do presentations, do trainings regarding low vision, disability etiquette. We do a lot of outreach and presentation, community awareness awareness.
Okay.
Very good.
What I was thinking about is maybe we could have a workshop or something one Saturday and have it a community event.
Right, and invite people to come out.
Yeah, get to go to the different churches and have their people to invite, because you can actually, some of the people that could benefit from this are the people that work in home supportive service.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Good.
They know the people and what the people they have.
Right, they already know who they are, so then
and
that would be your
need.
guest list, right? And they know what they need exactly.
That's wonderful.
Love the way you're thinking.
Okay.
Love it.
Okay.
Love it.
Thank you. Okay. So, where are we now? Independent with information and referral, which we just got through with that. Mobility training. Okay.
The mobility training is a provision for the one-on-one instruction and participating travel routines. What is it? So if people have their regular routines that they go to on a normal basis, and then that's where you come in and train them so they can be independent.
Yes, so there's two types of mobility training. One of them has to do with learning how to use the fixed bus route.
Okay.
Right? So people with disabilities, in this program, Mobility MMP, our mobility management program, has to do with people with disabilities in Orange County.
Okay.
We need to learn how to use the fixed bus route.
Okay.
So we have travel trainers who work one-on-one with individuals who need to learn how to take the bus to go to work, to go to school. That's our mobility management program. But then we also have people through our Aging with Vision Loss program who are legally blind, and they're ready to learn how to use a white cane. Like, I use a white cane.
Okay.
I'm legally blind.
Okay. A white cane.
And so we have a orientation and mobility instructor who is specially trained. It's a master's degree, and she works with individuals and trains them on how to use a long white cane so that we can travel confidently, safely, and independently from point A to point B.
Okay.
So that's orientation and mobility training with the white cane.
Okay.
My brother has since passed on here recently, but he did something. I didn't understand it because I had issues. Number one, he's my brother, and number two, he's my brother. So I didn't understand it. I'm like, man, what am I going to have to do? Come down there But he had this thing in his head that if I use the long white cane, I make myself a target for people. And I just went along with it because he's my brother. Okay, you my baby brother. I'm an old Marine type guy. I can work with that. But then something happened that someone removed the street markers that they were repairing the sidewalk. And he walks right into a ditch.
No.
And he falls over the side, and could nobody hear him calling for help. And he just pulls out his cell phone, calls in some kind of way. The emergency people zeroed in on his signal and found him.
Wow.
Can you address some of the misconceptions to staying safe with persons with vision loss?
I can, definitely, and I think what you brought up is a really important topic. People do feel that, taking that step and deciding, okay, it's time for me to use a white cane, for example, it's a tough decision. It's a tough step to take. I think, I can share with you personally that for me, I vacillated. I was like, okay, am I ready? No, I'm not ready yet. And then when you finally make that decision because you're tired of tripping, you're tired of bumping into things.
Right.
You recognize that, okay, you learn how to use it, and the more you use it, you realize it's a tool.
Okay.
It's
a tool. It's a tool to help you.
Okay.
But it's challenging getting to that point.
Yeah. I'm actually speaking to someone. I just wrapped it in something so they wouldn't know that I'm speaking to them, but I'm sure they're going to come back and say, thank you for not putting my name out on blast. But I want people to stay safe.
Yes, absolutely.
And I want people to get something from this organization and these wonderful people who have come to share with us how to do that. Okay. It's not a service if you don't take advantage of it. It's not a service if you don't pay attention and say, okay, I'm going to use that, and I'm going to look at it like a tool to better live my life. We're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to continue down all of the services that they did. Before break, we want to let everybody know that this section has been brought to you, or is being powered by I'mALuxury.com. You think, well, why I'mALuxury.com fits into the service category. We're all created to, with everything we have, treat ourselves very well. We just lost the genius. What was his name?
Stephen
Hawking.
Yeah.
Stephen Hawking. I love that man.
So did I.
I really love. He was so inspiring to me. Mm-hmm. You know, he was smart.
And he had a sense of humor.
He had a sense of humor. The man said, "Oh, I'm so happy to talk to you," and through the machine, he said, "Yes, I know you are." But his whole thing about don't look down, look up.
Exactly.
And he gave us. He was so far out there with physics and all the other stuff. And so we want to definitely mention him. Look up wherever you are. Look up, and Mrs. Walker is going to be into financial literacy in a little while, and she's going to talk about some things that has to do with planning and looking up. But I'mALuxury.com. Go to I'mALuxury.com and treat yourself well. Treat yourself well as much can be possible, and keep a desire in your heart. There's a lot of things that I talk to you all about, and I may or may not ever have them in my life, but it's still a desire. Okay.
That's the main thing, to know that you deserve to be considered a luxury. You deserve to have your independence. You deserve to have a mindset of, wanting the better things in life.
Yeah.
Not settling for less.
Yeah. Well, the thing is to be able to go and see some things that may be unreachable today, but they are definitely attainable
if you put it in the plan.
tomorrows.
Yes, sir.
And secondly, Mr. Dr. Payne, commander of American Legion Post 109, that post is having their meeting on March the 19th. Go to the webpage, the Raymond Hall Show, and you'll be able to see all the details there, meeting times and location there. So we'll be right back, and we'll talk to you in a minute.
We'll be right back.
And we are back. Thank you so very
Welcome
much
back,
for
everyone.
staying with us. And we are having one heck of a time with learning a lot of stuff and just here talking with our guests. You all are remarkable.
Yes, they are.
With everything that you do, it's amazing. You know, we talk here at the Raymond Hall Show about service. Our arm, a senior salute, gives you an opportunity to go into the community and see those people who have actually given service. But we have in our studio audience today 2 people
that literally give
service. Okay, so we'll continue. So now let's talk about peer counseling.
You got it.
What does peer counseling?
Peer counseling means that every staff person at the Dale McIntosh Center provides peer counseling to our participants, to our consumers, is what we call people who use our services. Mm-hmm. Because the independent living philosophy is all about working alongside your peer and providing that support that I've walked in your shoes. I'm walking alongside you, and I've lived it too. And let's share, and how can we help one another?
Right.
So that's what peer counseling is.
Great philosophy.
Now, I missed a highlight here, personal assistance services. What is that?
Where's the personal assistance services? Recruitment, pre-screening, and referral of individuals seeking to provide part or full-time help with personal care and housekeeping tasks. Danelda?
Okay. Well, that's pretty much as it is. We have an individual on staff who is the coordinator of participants, consumers of the Dale McIntosh Center, and those that are in need of in-home help. Say they have IHSS allotted hours. Okay. There is a registry that is trying to coordinate and connect the care attendant, the personal care attendant, and the individual with the disability.
Okay, so they're connecting everyone together.
Yes.
Okay, and that's very important.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now talk to us about the transitioning youth, because we've talked considerably about 55 and older.
55 and older.
And this is down with the millennials, and so talk to us. Give us some insight on that. Now, what is that saying?
Helping young people prepare for adult life by mastering routine tasks such as basic cooking, managing money, and communicating effectively, sponsoring social and recreational activities, developing leadership skills, and facilitating role modeling by adults with disabilities.
We can almost have a show on that by itself.
You could.
Right, because that's what we were mentioning earlier, that Dale McIntosh Center told me that if you're not 55 years old and you're younger, they still can provide you with resources and services, which is very, very good.
Mm-hmm. Now, what of the population that you all serve, what percentage is the youth? Is it a small part or a large part?
It's a small part right now, but it's rapidly growing.
It is.
Rapidly. There's a big emphasis right now on serving our youth.
Yes.
Okay.
And when we talk about transition age youth with disabilities, we're talking about youth 14 to about 24.
Okay. 14 to 24.
So, I mean, think of it's such a tough time, right? There's so many things changing in the youth's lives.
Right.
Transitioning from school to work, from work to living on your own. So it's all about providing our youth with disabilities opportunities to learn, and plan and learn social skills and make friends and have fun. And so our services are all about providing those opportunities.
Okay. Now, is that one-on-one, or can that be done in a group setting of youth as well?
It's a group setting. Okay, group setting.
Right.
To get them all together, you bring the group together.
Okay.
Yes.
That's very good.
Okay.
Yes.
So, if we had a community event and we wanted to have that as one of the segments, that would be something to have the community, if you know someone that need those services, to bring them to the event.
We could definitely direct. Right now, our youth program is focused in Orange County.
Okay.
But there are other youth programs in Los Angeles County.
Okay.
So if a person wants to call us, we can definitely direct them to the program for LA County.
Okay.
And if anyone has questions about our own youth program, it's been doing an amazing job. I mean, they've been putting on workshops to really showcase our youth program as it's doing so well, so that it can be replicated in other places.
Okay. Very good. So let me give you the number for all of you lovely listeners out there. The number at the Dale McIntosh Center is 1-800-972-8285 or www.daylemc.org.
All right. Repeat that one more time.
1-800-972-8285 or www.daylemc.org.
Okay. We're going to jump into, we're running short of time here, so to make sure we get everything, one of our talking points is aging with vision loss. Give us a statement, either one of you, on aging with vision loss. What's the one thing you want us to know about, from the center's point of view, about aging with vision loss?
We want people to know that we're here to help them learn new ways of doing things. Okay. That's really kind of like the bottom line is we're all about that there's life. Yes, you may have vision loss because of glaucoma or macular degeneration, but there is life. Life goes on, and if you're ready to learn new ways of doing things and kind of moving forward, we're here to help.
All right.
And you're in the driver's seat.
Okay. And Danelle, the TAKE services are available?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
They are absolutely available.
Absolutely available. I mean,
I like
again, we will because that is such a key component to independence is technology.
Yes,
assistive technology. But the gamut is not only, as we mentioned before, iPhones and computer software. That's audio, but we're talking. There's kitchen devices for cooking. Technology, assistive technology to keep people independent in the area of meal preparation. There's assistive technology in recreation with getting back to reading books and going to performances. That's available for audio descriptive or movie. So we want recreational is a key play with assistive technology. So assistive technology incorporates different facets of the goals, the independent living goals, and we will provide that training.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Well, that is really, I mean, if you have any questions at all, one more time.
If you have any questions, you can call the Dale McIntosh Center at 1-800-972-8285 or www.daylemc.org.
Okay. Now, as you know, we are having a continuing month on financial literacy, and we're shifting gears here. I guess you know. We have all month we've been talking about financial literacy, and Mrs. Walker has been giving us different segments each week on financial literacy. This week we're going to do something a little bit different. She's going to step outside. It's all in the box of financial literacy, but it's more toward the planning. So she's going to take a few minutes and talk to us about that financial literacy.
Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. We appreciate your patronage and listening to us here at the Raymond Hall Show. Financial literacy is a sound plan. Financial literacy starts with planning. Today, our financial literacy goes beyond finances and calls for first getting a plan for your life that will scale to accommodate you no matter where you find yourself. Plan for things not planned. Okay, we all know that. The emergency plan.
Wow.
Plan for the future in mind.
That could have been most of my life.
Right. Because, we all have these unexpected things that come up.
Right. Okay.
Plan for a balanced life, family, business, worship, and service. Because without harmony, you don't have any balance. So you have to plan for these things.
Correct.
Also, plan for time with yourself. That's a big one. Just take some quality time for yourself.
That's what I had to learn.
So that you can, get your mind quieted so that you can make some solid, sound decisions.
Just to breathe sometimes.
Just to take a deep breath alone with yourself. Also, add to your plan with guidance. Share your plan with other people that you feel have a solid footing that you can consider their considerations, and that they've planned and taken time for their financial sound lifestyle.
Okay.
So what I want to do is just say thank you. We're going to be following up next week with more information and more insight on financial planning. Did you have any remarks that you wanted to add to that, Mr. Hall?
Well, financial planning is important because if you don't have a degree of financial planning, somebody's going to put a financial plan on you. So it's just make up your mind whose plan is going to work for you. Your plan for you, or you are going to be so callous with your own life to let somebody else put their plan on you. Breathe. One of the key things that you can do for yourself is to take yourself out of the way and be of service to others. That's what these young ladies has come to us and said. All of the things that we talked about financial literacy. Today, when you look at it, they planned. And because of the plan, they got some finances.
To be able to offer to you.
And they were able to use the plan.
Exactly. But they had to have that plan first.
They had to have a plan first. Okay, so we're coming up on the last minute. So what we generally do is give our guests 30 seconds. You got 30 seconds to say anything you want to do, and we are glad we're not controlled by the FCC. So you got 30 seconds to say whatever it is you want to say.
I would just, again, like to express our appreciation for having us as guests on your show. Thank you.
Okay.
And again, we just would want people to utilize the services.
Right.
We want people to be independent in their own homes, and there is life beyond vision loss.
All right.
Quality
Thank
life.
you very much.
I would encourage people to get connected to their local independent living centers. Independent living centers are across the nation.
Okay.
In California, there are 29. In Los Angeles County, there are 5. So get connected to your local independent living center.
Okay.
Call us if you need their number, and we'll help you get connected.
Okay. And Erica, give their number again, and it's your 30 seconds is.
Okay. The last time for today for the Dale McIntosh Center, 1-800-972-8285, www.daylemc.org. And again, I'd just like to say thank you for joining us today on the Raymond Hall Show here in the lovely Morris Media Studio. We look forward to seeing you next week this same time. Thanks a lot and have a great afternoon.
Okay. I want to thank each and every one of you who not only have followed us, but you who tell others about the show so they will follow us. We were in a meeting earlier this week, and a man said that if you weren't in military, you weren't talking about military service, why would anybody want to listen? And I listened to that, and it gave me pause, but I pondered that thought ever since then. And I want to say something to you. There's all kinds of service that's needed. You have foreign diplomatic service. That's important because it's the diplomats who work diligently so wars won't start. You have the service of teachers and instructors that says, I will be available and go beyond earning a paycheck so to help mold children's minds so that America will be able to stand in her strength into tomorrow's. Okay. You have the service of those who said that no matter what, and no matter what situation, I will give service. So this show is not just about service from those men and women who serve across the nation. And we thank them. They're stationed all over the world, and some of them in very difficult situations. So we are thankful. We're thankful for the seniors because they have given service, and that's the platform that we stand on, the liberty of service, of freedom that we stand on today. So it's all kinds of service. Don't lock into the fact if someone says to you that your service is not important. Each and every individual service is a part of the history of this nation. Service is not unique to America, but service is uniquely an American institution. We love you here at the Raymond Hall Show. Be of service, be kind, and to that, have a good day.
Thank you.